Hi, welcome back to Hollywood Discharge, where I, Hall Monitor of the Universe, the Hall Monitor of the Universe, girl, I can't talk, sorry, I was having a stroke there, comes and discusses sets I've been on. There's my mailman. Thank you! And how I rate them. I just heard my phone ding. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get my phone in check, make sure that it wasn't fucking around while I'm trying to film this. I do have to apologize. Last episode was supposed to be a full episode, the shopping carts. That was just the intro that was supposed to happen. But my friend Maggie and we filmed a 45-minute episode, and Zoom or me, I don't know exactly what happened. I'm not going to blame Zoom completely, but usually it converts the file a little slow. Anyways, it converted the file in 2 seconds. It gave me 2 seconds. So we did not have an episode. But I digress. You know what? I'm learning. I'm figuring out. This is new. So thank you for coming along this journey. All 5 of you. I appreciate your views. Now listen. This is Hollywood Discharge. Let's talk about a set. And I thought, since we started with Will and Grace, which was we started with Will and Grace, then we did Dahmer. I was trying to think, what else did I talk about? Because I know Will and Grace was good. Dahmer was shit. Let's talk about Picard. Star Trek Picard. So, this was one of the first gigs that I got in LA. So in background acting world, there is casting directors here and there that book stuff. Central Casting is the main. That is who booked Picard for me. Central Casting has the most bookings. They have the most shows. They're like the beast of it all. One of my dear friends is like the head casting director. Hey, baby. Hey, Kristen. Love you if you're listening. For Central, they've been wonderful to me. They got me a lot of work. I appreciate and love Central Casting. Thank you, baby. So when I talk about shit about background acting, it's not towards y'all. I know we're working in this fucked up scenario that nothing's going to be fixed overnight, but that is why I'm doing this now, because hopefully over time, jingle jangle, you hear my cats, they're running around. Over time it will get fixed. So, there's a handful of other casting directors. Oh my God, what is his name? Bill something. Bill, I don't remember. He got me Westworld. I did Westworld a couple times. I'll talk about him later. I am having a complete blank on all the other casting directors' names. I should have been more prepared. Anyways, Central Casting is the one that got me Picard. And the way it happens is, with this one, I believe they put up on a message board that everyone can see, whether you work for Central Casting or not, a message board, and it said, must be okay with prosthetics, apply. And it was like a random, like, ages, this between this. It was like, sometimes it's like males between ages 18 and 21 with dark hair only. You'll see that. This, I think, was like just a big call, okay? So I applied. The casting director called me like 10 minutes later, and it said, he said, are you okay with prosthetics? I said, sure. And he said, okay, I'm going to book you, and just get ready for an email. So I got the email. On the site, when they were trying to book us, it was called Royal Flush, which a lot of times Central will misname shows so that you don't know, so that people can't catch on. So it's called Royal Flush, and they are fucking up my audio with those jingle jangles, those cats. Those fucking pussies, bitch. They're always fucking up. And so he booked me. I got my itinerary for my fitting, and on it said Romulan surgical tech. And when I tell you that I cried, girl, I cried. Now, I understand it's only a background acting thing, but for me, this little queer faggot who loved Counselor Deanna Troi, Marina Sirtis is the actress who plays her. And if you don't know, I'm going to just give you a little. Counselor Deanna Troi was a empath. She was like a gypsy kind. Well, I guess we're not allowed to say gypsy. She's not a gypsy. She was a, oh my God, she read people's minds, girl. Sometimes not well. Sometimes she could read, 2 ships over. It didn't make any sense, but she was the most powerful. She was the most emotional, and she always had the sexiest fucking outfits on. She always had her, she was cinched in her dresses, girl. She was the only character that had different clothes than the other officers. She always was out of, like, the military look, girl, but she was always showing some cleavage. She was always showing these clavicles, honey. I love this, girl. Male, female, trans, non-binary, girl. I love seeing the little clavicles, girl. She showed that. And the best part about Counselor Deanna Troi and why I fell in love with Star Trek growing up in the first place was she had this huge hairpiece that was like this permed black cascading all the way down her back, mama. And it was pulled up with a little bouffant because, girl, we were in the 80s and the 90s, okay? And then this fucking bejeweled headband. Mama. Counselor Deanna Troi was a fucking queen, is still a queen. She should have her own show. Mama. Or we could figure out maybe you can play my mom. Oh my God, I would love that. Listen. So anyways, this is why I loved it. So I get the email. The email says, you're a Romulan tech. I'm gagging. I call my mom. I'm crying. I'm like, I cannot believe this. Oh my God. But then I still wasn't 100% convinced because I'm like, what if it's like a royal flush? Like maybe it's like a Vegas spoof on Star Trek. I don't know yet. So a week goes by. I go to my fitting. It was in Santa Clarita, which is a suburb outside of Los Angeles. Still Los Angeles County, but it's out. And there's filming that goes on out there. A lot of like the outside scenes that you see like in the country, like in True Blood, in Westworld, and all that, they're filmed in like the Santa Clarita area. So, most of the time. So I get to the Santa Clarita studios and I walk in, and this confirms it. I am sitting in a waiting room of Star Trek. It's playing Star Trek. It's Star Trek. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta keep my shit together. Because in my brain, I'm only a fucking background actor. If they find out that I'm like a fucking Trekkie, they're probably gonna be like, bitch, you gotta go home. You gotta go home. We don't need you in here. So I kept my pussy together, bitch. I kept my tits up. I kept my pussy together, and we're gonna fucking get through this. So they put me in a little golf cart. This lovely PA, I don't remember her name, but she was lovely. She put me in this little golf cart, and she put like the sides down so no one could see us. It was very James Bond, girl. Took me to another area where then I walked in and it was wardrobe. Fucking Patrick Stewart was on the wall. His picture was on the wall. Jerry Ryan, who plays 7 of 9, her picture was on the wall. I did not see Marina Sirtis, which she did appear in the series, but I did not see her on the wall. If I would have fucking... What's happening in there? I would have fucking died, but I didn't. Okay. So I go into my fitting. The wardrobe people were not as nice as the PA. But wardrobe people scare me. I have a lot of wardrobe friends, but they do scare me. They have a lot of power in Hollywood, I've noticed, especially with background actors. So I was very thin at the time, probably 20 pounds less than what I am now. I am not big by any means, but for LA standards, 20 pounds less is like where they wanted someone that's 6 foot. So they're fitting me in black clothes, black gloves, black everything. And then like we had to have like this vinyl, I think it was vinyl or pleather or something like apron in front of us because we were surgical techs. Bitch, it was so fucking hot. But when I was putting my costume on, the one they pulled, it almost didn't fit. No, I think I had to fit into someone else's costume, and thank God I was before the other person because the other person got bumped to do something different. Mama, I'd have been pissed. And the wardrobe ladies are like, it doesn't fit right here. And I'm like, literally at this point, I'm like a 30 waist. Like, how thin could you possibly be? But that's what it is. So I got through my fitting. I think filming was a couple days later. When I got back to the Santa Clarita, I don't think I slept at all. My call time, I believe, was like, it was dark when I was driving. So my call time was probably like 5 a.m. And I get there, I think wardrobe was second. I had breakfast. And let me just tell you something about Star Trek Picard. Now, I do think it's because this was the first day of filming or first week of filming. When I tell you catering was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. There were 4 different stations of 4 different types of food that you could choose from. Bitch, that is not... I have never seen that ever, ever, ever on any type of Hollywood set, and I have been on hundreds, darling, and trust and believe, I'm always looking for the fucking where the food's at, girl, because mama needs the food, obviously, because I couldn't fit in my costume. So, the breakfast was great. I went into makeup and hair, and I do not remember his name. He was this lovely gay man who was from San Francisco. He would come down. So if you do watch this, if you ever see this, thank you, baby, because you're the reason why I got on set. He did my makeup, I believe, on Westworld, and he had to cover up like a couple of my tattoos, and we were chit-chatting. So he said he remembered me. I'm like, I don't know if he remembers me, but he did my makeup, and I'm going to put pictures in here right now, but the way he did my eyebrows and covered up my eyebrows, and the way he did my ears, I know is the reason why I got on set, because other people's makeup, as we were like waiting to go and everyone was getting done, I saw their eyebrows started to show from other makeup artists, their ears, you could see like the line. My makeup artist, baby, fucking did his business. Painted me like a fucking Romulan. Loved it. So, we're assigned wardrobe people. I have like we all have personal wardrobe people. There's us, and then there is, what do they call them? Background actors. They were featured background actors. So featured, I think I've been one once on a commercial, but featured gets paid more. It's more of a costume. What was funny was the whole day, I was there for almost 17 hours. The whole day, I don't think a single featured person got shown. Like, they got paid better, but they didn't get shown. That does suck, going through costume and wardrobe and all that shit, but whatever. At least you got paid good. So we're waiting. We get put onto, we're getting brought to set. Set is huge. It's cold. It's all these things. We have to walk up these stairs to get onto a Borg ship. Now, if you're a Star Trek person and a Trekkie, girl, boy, bro, bitch, whatever you want to be called, I was gagging. I was fucking gagging. And oh my God, this just popped into my head. So I remember too, we had to have masks on, like over our ears, and because we were in like a quarantine zone on the Borg ship, and we were operating on Borgs. I don't know exactly. I'd have to go back and watch Picard, the first episode, because it was the first episode that I was in. And just FYI, you do see me. So I walk onto set, and there's probably like 20 of us that now they're doing what I call the hooker lineup. So the hooker lineup is where background actors stand in a line, and you are chosen by the AD, which is the assistant director, and or the director of who now is going to make it to set. Now that you went through all this costumes, makeup, all this shit, now you think you're going to get on set? No, bitch. Some of the times you don't. I want to say more than 50% of the time you do, but some of the times you don't, especially with a show as specific as Star Trek Picard. So there was this girl and guy in front of me, because I'm tall, I'm always like in the back. So they were starting to pick, and I did something that I'm not proud of, but I kind of like pushed those two people. I was so rude. I moved forward. I got put on set because I pushed them aside. I don't remember seeing them ever again. But I got put on set next to this lovely, lovely Russian girl. And I say lovely, lovely because a lot of the Russians that are on sets are fucking assholes. Okay? Now, come for me all you want. I don't give a shit. They are privileged. I've watched Russian people spit out gum on the streets. When we're waiting outside for something, I tell them to pick it up. They told me to fuck off. Anytime you act a little gay, they will tell you to calm down. Like, Russian... I'm going to get so much hell for this, but Russian people on sets are the fucking worst, okay? I'm sorry. They're, most of the time, the most beautiful people, right? Tall, thin, blonde, everything that fucking Americans want to be. But lots of the time, the Russian background actors were bullshit, okay? Whatever. So I got next to one. I don't know if you remember me, but you were lovely. This isn't about you. She was lovely. And I remember her saying, I can't remember her as that, but I don't know what to, that's not a Russian accent. I don't know what to do. I said, Mama, I have been practicing for this my whole life because they were on a console, a fake console. There was a Borg being operated on in the middle of the room. There was another console. So we were on the far back console and in these chairs that were like straddle chairs, girl. I said, just follow me. Just follow me and exactly what I do, girl. And that's that. I rarely get notes from the director or the assistant director, which I think I did get a couple notes because I kept wanting to get onto camera, so I kept looking occasionally, and they're like, don't look so much. I was like, okay, all right, baby. So we filmed that scene for, I want to say, about 7 hours. And that scene probably lasted in the episode about a minute. But it was fucking amazing. It was fucking amazing. Lunch was amazing. I remember I got a little Mexican, a little Italian. It's just like the bathhouse girl, fucking little Indian girl for just, you know what I'm saying? It was delicious. Go back to set. We go back into the scene again. We finish up the scene. Now, this is where I got really giddy. They brought everybody that was there. There was probably like 40 background, including the featured. There was too many of us. I think because it was the first week they overbooked just to be sure, just to be like, okay. And because it's Star Trek Picard, they had the fucking funds to do it, right? So they did that. So they had already picked who they want to keep for the next scene that we were doing, which was like walking around and all this kind of stuff on the ship, which I was so excited. And I was like, oh my God, I will fucking kill myself if I don't get picked. I will fucking kill myself. And this is coming from a person that like would beg sometimes to go home early. I'm just like, get me the fuck off this set. The poor PA, I remember he was really cute. Don't remember his name. He was really cute, and he was having a mental breakdown. I could tell. I don't know how long he lasted on Picard, but you could tell when these PAs are like, either they're new or they've never been on this like large of a show and stuff like that. But I did feel bad for him. He's like, so we're only keeping like 3 or 4 people. I'm so sorry. And he named the people. I was one of them. I felt like I won the lottery. I'm like, bitches, everyone who wasn't named, get out of here. How about you get the fuck out? Fuck out. Anyways, so we started filming our next scene. Okay, so the first scene wasn't with anyone I knew. That's another thing. I wasn't filming with anyone I knew. The woman that was playing the Romulan doctor in the first scene, she was fucking bizarre, man. She barely had any lines, and I remember chit-chatting. She's like, I just don't know what they want. I don't know what, I'm like, bitch, all you're doing is putting a fake hand on a robot. They're just getting all different angles. They don't want anything. They just want you to say your fucking line and do it. But I thought she was like a main, like, star of the show, because the show was brand new. Anyways, whatever. I'm getting off subject. So, we get to the next scene. If you're a Star Trek person, we filmed with, I don't remember his real name, but the character Hugh, Hue, I believe. And he was in a couple episodes, and he was a Borg that got freed from the collective. So I filmed with him. He was very lovely. And we filmed the rest of the hours. God, we were there for like, honest to God, I was gone from my house almost 20 hours that day. And I loved every second of it. When I left Santa Clarita Studios, I cried. I thought, this sucks. This is the beginning of like, me doing this background acting, and I've already fucking hit my goal. I already was on Picard season 1. Now, for the I said you got to see me. Well, guess what you got to see? I'm going to put a picture right here. You got to see the back of me with my legs. Nobody's ever going to fucking know that was me, bitch. But I know. And this is, okay, so this is something I got to say. Something that I noticed, I'm going to talk about Ryan Murphy a little bit too. Something that I noticed, because when you get to Hollywood, a lot of people say Ryan Murphy, and I've said this before, Ryan Murphy projects, productions are the way to go. You'll work all the time. If you get in, you're great, which is true in a lot of senses. So you hear that, and so I started to work towards the Ryan Murphy productions, right? So, but before that, when I got there, I just thought, if I could only just be on Star Trek, if I could only be on Star Trek with Patrick Stewart, are you crazy? Like, the show that is my most favorite show of all time. It taught me how to be, I don't know, not a fucking idiot. Because I know a lot of people like Star Wars, but Star Wars was like space opera, girl. Star Trek was smart. Star Trek was really, I mean, I didn't understand half the fucking shit they were saying, and did I just want to, like, be in the uniform and fuck the commander? Fuck yeah, but still. So, what I'm saying is, I went with an intention. The intention was, oh my god, Star Trek would be it. Got on it, right? Ryan Murphy set an intention. Wanted to be on a Ryan Murphy production. Got on Ratched. Ratched was the first one. Pandemic happened. Started to talk shit about someone that worked on Ratched. Cut 2. Fucking Cut 2. That person and I are homies now. Hopefully she's going to come on the show. We're going to chit-chat about our whole experience, about how we met during the pandemic. And me calling her, see you next Tuesday. The worst. The fucking worst of the worst. Cunt. If you didn't know how to spell, I'm just going to say it for you. Cunt is what I called her. But look at that. I set an intention, and it happened. I think I needed to be a little more specific. Not, I want to be a background actor on a Ryan Murphy Productions. I should have been like, I want to be fucking, I don't know. The like, let me be a clown. Let me be a clown on, although I don't like clowns. But the whole point of what I'm saying is, you set an intention. I find if you set an intention, whether you know you're doing it or you don't know you're doing it, most of the time, if you're a hustler like me, that intention, that project, that thing will happen, right? So, all in all, Picard was amazing. They just ended season 3, so there is no hope of getting back on it, but I have set the intention that I want to have a speaking part in Star Trek. I don't care what it looks like. I don't fucking care who it is. And it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen. Gonna make it happen. Get me on my knees at night and note. What? I was trying to sing Mariah Carey, Make It Happen. We're getting off subject here. Listen. Thank you for coming. Not coming, but coming and seeing this and listening to this. Thank you to all the people that subscribe. I would love for you to rate. And thank you to Picard. Right? What? Picard casting. Or any Star Trek casting. Cast me. Book me, please. Help me, I'm poor.